Welcome back to Gameplays. Today I've got a pretty interesting board game here to show you guys. This is Cosmic Voyage. Now the reason why this is interesting is because it's off of Kickstarter, and that's probably why you've never heard of this game before. Surprisingly, it is on Board Game Geek though, and it currently has a 4.9 out of 10 rating, which is really bad, but it only has 20 ratings overall, so there's not even that many people who have played the game to give it any ratings. Also, there might be some skewed ratings there from people who are upset with how long it took the makers to ship this thing out. Because the Kickstarter of this actually ended back in September of 2021. But if you go on to Kickstarter and you look up Cosmic Voyage, you'll see that it was last updated in August of 2024, saying that shipments were still going out and there was some apologies for how long it was taking. Also, there's some comments from 5 months ago with multiple people saying that they still haven't received the game, even some super backers. So pretty interesting from my perspective because I've never really used Kickstarter at all. I've never gotten anything off of there. I've never backed anything. I have no skin in the game, but it's interesting nonetheless, and that's obviously why I picked this game up, which is kind of interesting how it even came to my part of the world because the creators of this Kickstarter are from the UK, and on Kickstarter it was showing that there was only 404 backers, so how it ended up in Canada, in Saskatchewan, at my local value village, I have no idea how that came to be. You can buy this game online now on Savania's site, but it costs around $55 Canadian, and they can only ship it out to UK residents. So again, not really sure how this ended up at my local value village, but I'm excited that it did because it doesn't look like half bad of a game, but then again, I don't really know what to expect. Other than I thought that this would make for a good video, just looking into it, checking it out. Because this only cost me $6 at Value Village. And yeah, as you can see, it is still in its packaging, which again makes you kind of wonder, like, if one of these backers really wanted this that bad, they waited like 4 years to get it, and then they're just like, I'm done with this thing. So then what is this game really about? Well, it says a dice rolling game of deep space exploration, cooperation, and luck. So it looks pretty interesting. Back here it shows 45-minute gameplay, 8 and older, and 1 to 4 players. So that's interesting. Cooperative game. Your ship and its crew are stranded in deep space. You'll have to work as a team to chart your course back home, exploring the danger-filled Discovery Zone to salvage items and resources to prepare for your perilous cosmic voyage. So it looks pretty interesting. There really wasn't a whole lot of info out there. Not too many people have made videos on this other than Savania Games itself has a couple of videos. And there was a couple of other pre-review videos out there from when they sent out games for the Kickstarter. And each of those videos, only had maybe 100 or so views on them. So yeah, really this is an unknown game, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like a rare game here that, not many people will ever get to play. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be good. So that's kind of what I'm excited about, is to just get into it, see what the components are like, see what the gameplay is like, and yeah. So without further ado, let's crack this puppy open. There we go. The box feels pretty decent. Looks pretty good, kind of goofy, but that's all right. And inside the box, we've got the game rulebook here. It's a little thick. Oh, why do we have so many notes? We've got quite a few pages of notes at the back here. That's interesting. Cool. Yeah, alright. Pretty thick rule book. Not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah. Okay. Rule book there. Oh, we've got a reference sheet as well. That's nice. Yeah, not bad. And we've got some pieces here. Looks like these are all wooden. Yeah, they look pretty good. Bunch of just markers. Not really sure exactly what you'd be using them for. And we got some dice here. We've got 2 6-sided die and a 12-sided die. Yeah, they feel good. Pretty good quality by the looks of it. And then we've just got some cards here. Okay, these are probe cards for the solo mode. Okay. And item cards. Some other kind of cards. Wormhole events. Crew members. Now, I did see something where it showed that there was like 8 crew members, but on the site it said that they had up to like 13. Yeah, 13. Okay. So I don't know if that means that this is like Kickstarter one, or maybe this had like a goal met on Kickstarter and then they added more crew members. I'm not sure how that works, but yeah, anyways. The cards don't feel too bad. They feel alright. And yeah, they look pretty good. Got some good information on each of them, so that's nice to have. And it looks like you've got your little like health tracker as well, so that's cool. Wormhole events. Yeah, I mean, these cards look good. They've got lots of information on each one of them, so that's nice. Yeah, they don't feel half bad. They feel pretty good, actually. And then we got some more cards here. Let's see. What do we have here? Success. Some kind of tracker here. And some more of these cards. Some mission cards by the looks of it. Lots of those. All of those. Very nice. Yeah, it looks like some kind of missions. Medical missions. Science missions. Tactical missions. Cool. Cool. Alright. Well, that's about it. I mean, got lots of cards, dice, and then some pieces there. And then, yeah, I mean, like, this isn't the greatest. Could be better. It's kind of ripped up there, but yeah, that's alright. It's a little ripped up. No big deal. Yeah, alright. Well, there we go. That's that's the game. I'll have to get into this, see how it plays. So here we have the game all set up. You're going to start by shuffling each of these decks and then laying out a 3x3 grid of these discovery cards. In this case, I'm just playing a 2-player game here. I've got the planner over here and the astrobiologist over here. You'll take a green little health token and just put it on the top, on the 4 here, indicating how much life you have left. And then you have your little mission card here, your little tracker, or your ship tracker. So this is the goal here. You want to complete as many missions and get this reward here until you get 5 in the short game or 8 in the longer game. And then you have your shield counter here and your energy counter here for your ship. And that's the setup. You can also choose between a whole bunch of different characters here. They all have special abilities that help you as you go. I just grabbed these two for really no apparent reason. We're just gonna try it out, see how it works. So the game is played in rounds. Each round consists of 2 phases. You're going to start with the discovery phase, which is flipping over these discovery cards. At the beginning of the round, you'll fill any of the spaces if there's missing cards, and then you'll flip over up to 3. If there's already 3 out there, then you don't have to flip any over. So we'll do that. You can just pick at random. We'll flip this one over here. We'll flip this one over here. And we'll flip this one over here. So we've just got a bunch of mission cards here. If your character has anything to help you on the discovery phase, which this planner does, his thing here is during the discovery phase, roll the 6-sided die. If you roll a 5 or a 6, you can scan another discovery card. So we'll do that. We'll just roll this dice here. We roll a 2, we get nothing, which is fine. If we would have rolled a 5 or a 6, then we could have flipped over another card. And then phase 2 is exploration, which each player in any order can perform their chosen action, which is, attempting a face-up mission card, or if there was an event card, you could try and do that. Or you can use the medical bay to restore one of your health points, but that will cost you ship energy. Or if you want, you can play one of these face down discovery cards. So I mentioned the way that you win is by getting 5 of these advance points over here will win you the game. But how you lose is if you run out of shield or each person in your squad is incapacitated at the same time. And that's basically it. You're doing these missions, trying to get advance points. You can also get other items that'll help you along the way. You can also end up in wormholes and black holes pop up, and a bunch of different things can happen. But basically, on whose ever turn it is, you can decide which order. You can change it up depending on what you want to do. So let's say the astrobiologist here wants to do a mission, one of these mission cards. So down here it shows which missions they're able to do. This crew member can perform science and medical primary missions, which the primary missions is the top one and secondary missions are the bottom one. Anybody can do the secondary missions, but the primaries all have up here at the top, it'll show which people are able to do those primary missions. So for this astrobiologist, they can do science and medical, so they could do this one, they could do any of them. Meanwhile, the planner over here, he can perform tactical and engineering primary missions. So he wouldn't be able to do this one or this one, because he's not able to do medical or science. So if that's the case, then the astrobiologist might as well do one of these. And in this case, if we do this one here, we have a chance to move on the advanced track. So the way that these things work is there's the 2 dice there. It shows the 6-sided die and the 12-sided die. The 12-sided die is your action, and the 6-sided die is your effort. So you need to get this number or higher on your die rolls. So if the astrobiologist is going to do this one, I'll take the red dice here and just roll it. And we've got a 10 and a 1. So we are completing the action portion of it, but we don't have enough effort. So if that's the case, then we would lose that mission. And if you win it, you would get the blue. If you lose it, you get the red. But can we do anything? The planner, let's see, the planner has an intervention ability here that says once per round you can roll the 6-sided die to add its result to another crew member's action or effort roll. So let's do that. We might as well do it once per round. You can only do it for another crew member, so we'll roll this. We've got a 5, perfect. We can add it to that one there. So we have a 10-6. That means that we did this mission here exceed the limit. And so we get the blue, which is an advance on this advanced track there. So there we go. We've got 1. We only have 4 more advanced track spaces to go to win the game. So this just gets discarded over here. And then it would move on to the planner's turn. So the planner isn't able to do this primary mission, could do the secondary one, but we might as well do this one and we'll try and advance on the track again. So we'll roll here. We need a 4-6 again to energize the reactor field. There we go. We've got 5, 9. So that's another win. We completed energizing the reactor field. So we move up the track again. We're crushing it. And that would be the end of the first round. We start the second round by doing the discovery phase. So we have to fill any of these open spaces. And then we've only got 1 card face up, so we'd have to flip a couple more. Might as well flip this one. Okay, we've got a solar storm there. And we'll flip this one. Okay, there we go. We got another mission. So when one of these events pop up here, this solar storm, it shows here that the end of round penalty is it will just start eating away at our defense, at our ship's shield. So at the end of every round, our shield is going to keep going down, which could lose us the game. So to evade this, we would need to roll a 5 or higher. But up in this left-hand corner here, it has these 4 circles. That means that we have to do this 4 times. So to do that, on a person's turn, they can choose, instead of doing one of these missions or going to the medical bay, for their action, they can contribute to evading this, which they would just roll this dice. If they get it, then you can put one of these squares on there, and that shows that we've evaded it once, but we would need to evade it 4 times to fully get rid of it. Otherwise, at the end of each round, we're going to be losing shield. So there we go. That was part of the first phase. So now we're on to the second phase. Actually, hold on. The planner can still do this discovery phase thing here if he rolls a 5 or a 6. He doesn't. Okay, no big deal. And the astrobiologist is going to go first again here because they've got this right here. They've got this life preserver ability where down here any success rolled for an event card counts as 2 successes. So that's a really good one to have. So they're going to do that. We're going to roll this one and try to evade the solar storm. 3. Crap. Well, the planner can use their intervention and roll this die here to add to that. And great job, adds to it. So that means that we get to add 2 squares there. So we're almost out of this solar storm. Now the planner could hop on that, try and get rid of it, but I think if we kind of do the same thing next turn, because we're already going to get damage to the shields, there's no way that he can finish off that card this turn. So instead, he might as well do one of these missions here. And he can do engineering primary missions, so he might as well go for this one. We need to repair the heat exchanger. So we'll roll the action and effort dies. We've got 8 and 4, and that is perfect. Crushed it. We needed a 4 and a 6, so we got it. We move up the track again. There we go. And now at the end of that round, we have to do this. We've got a penalty here, so we lose 1 shield. And start of the next round, we need to do the discovery phase, so we'll pull out a card here since we were missing one. And then we've only got 2 face-up cards, so we need to flip another one. We'll flip this one here. We've got a science mission. Okay, and then the planner, we might as well try and flip over another card here. 4. No go, that's fine. And we're going to have the astrobiologist go first again. Try and get out of this solar storm. 7, perfect. That's 2 more on there. We have evaded the solar storm. Perfect. And the planner has his turn. Let's see, he can't do the science or medical missions. So that's too bad. He can only do tactical and engineering primary missions. But you know what? Let's do this one here. We'll do the secondary mission on this one because if we get it, we'll get a shield back. So we need to adjust the shield harmonics. We'll roll these dies. 11 and 5, that's huge. We needed a 3 and a 5, so we got it. We get our shield back. No biggie. And on to the next round. And that's basically it. There is a few things that we haven't touched on yet, like the wormhole events. That hasn't come up. We haven't even gotten an item card yet. And there's a few other events that can pop up, which let's just see if we can find some here. Okay, well, we've also got this here. This is a hazard. So your ship is under attack. Get ready to defend your crew against this surprise assault. At the end of each round, roll a d6 and apply the effects below. So, just like it says, at the end of the round, you roll the die and you do whatever it says here. And then you discard this after 2 rounds. So, no biggie, just a hazard. You can, lose shield. All the crew can lose a health point, or all the crew can lose an item card. And there's the wormhole. So only 1 crew member can visit. Once completed, discard. And it's got a max of 3 rounds once started. So just like it says, there's only 1 crew member can visit this wormhole. And that's when you'll flip over this wormhole event. So if they get a success on this one, they would discard this card. And then on the next turn, take another wormhole event card. Once you have completed 3 wormhole cards, you exit the wormhole. And failure, take the card penalty and discard this card. You exit the wormhole immediately and take an additional 2 damage. So there's that, and different things that you can get out of these wormholes. This is a pretty good one. You can get 2 advance points, or if you fail, then you would lose 2 shield, which could mean the game for you. So yeah, there's lots of different things here, and let's see what else we can find in here. Okay, so then this is the opposite of the hazard. This would be an advantage card here, new discovery, and it's the same sort of thing. You discard it after 2 rounds. At the end of each round, you would roll the die, and you get positive things instead of negative things. So that's nice. There's a nebula, so you can't scan, which is just flipping over these discovery cards. And the end of round penalty is you're going to be losing energy on your ship. And it's the same as that solar storm that we had before. And an asteroid field, that's going to damage your shields. It just takes a lot longer to get through. There's a few other things. There is, here's something that we never went through yet. There's this little symbol here. That's for these things. If you were to successfully do this mission, you would get this token here. You keep it on you, and you can spend it to roll the extra dice to add to either of your rolls. That's all that does. Let's see here. What else we got for items? We've got, you can just use these whenever, but you can only hold on to 2 items at a time. So you got things like this. You got the sneak peek, which is, discard this card to scan an additional card during this discovery phase. Finders Keepers, discard this card and draw 2 cards from the top of the item deck. Choose 1 item to keep and return the other to the bottom of the deck. They're all very self-explanatory, so that's nice. I mean, all these cards just have a lot of good information on them. It makes it easy to run through a game. There's only a few times where you'll be like, I don't really understand that one. I think there's also, we haven't seen it yet, there's a black hole card. Oh, there it is. There's a black hole card. And yeah, it says right there, no adjacent discovery cards permitted. So if this was to come up here, it would automatically take these cards out and they would get discarded. And then you aren't able to add any new discovery cards around the black hole until you can get rid of it. So yeah, there's some very cool things. But overall, it's quite a simple game just because they've added a lot of information to each card. That's what makes it easy to play. And as for the gameplay itself, it's as you can see, it's very simple because you're basically just rolling die, and as you know, that's very lucky in a lot of cases. I was quite lucky this go through. The only times where you need to do some cooperative gameplay is when you get unlucky with the dice rolls, and then you kind of need to strategize on who can help each other, because these abilities that each person has, you can only use them once per round in a lot of situations. So you could end up using those and then not being able to help the last player, and then they end up losing health or getting stuck in a wormhole or whatever. But yeah, that's basically gonna be it. That's the gameplay. I might have missed some things, but that's essentially it. I obviously didn't go through like all of the characters or anything like that, but that's basically gonna be the video. I feel like there's not much point in really getting too far into this because, like I said at the beginning, this is kind of a rare game. I think there's probably only 400 copies out there. I don't know how many people are gonna watch this for a how to play, but you can get like a print and play copy of this if you wanted. So, but anyways, that's gonna be the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. That would be awesome. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. See ya.